So we got up to question 5, remember? And when you look at this one here, you will see you've got a number in front, which is not 1. So we need to clear out this 5 here. So we would have divided by 5 each part. So that's the first thing to do there. Okay, so you're going to end up with x squared plus 12 on 5x plus 20 equals 0. Okay, so work on this question and give me your answer. So your answer is either going to be, it could be one number. So write the number in and 2 decimal places. So for example, 0.39, it could be one number. It could be 2, it could be 0.39, 1.21, or it could be no real solution. So there's 3 options. So you'll get one number, 2 numbers, or no real solution. So when you do your solution and type it to the item pool, then you have 3 options. So one number, 2 numbers like this, and the smallest number first, or no real solution. So if it's no real solution, you just write that as your answer, okay? So you work on this one for a while. Okay, so do this one for a while and see what kind of answer you get, and then type it to your item pool. Okay, so we'll go to, I'll share that screen. Okay, so we ended up with this point here. And the next step was, you can check you're working with mine, but it looks like most of you are correct. Some didn't answer, so you better take a look here. 5x. So move the 20 over as before, minus 20. The middle number, we halve and square that. So we'll get 12 on 10 all squared, which is 144 on 100. Okay, so that's the number we add here and here. So you don't have to go very far with this question actually to see you can't solve it. So x squared plus 12 on 5x plus 144 on 100 equals 144 on 100, that's 1.44 minus 20. Okay, I'll just put that in there. So this would have been x plus 12 on 10 squared. And you can simplify that too, but you're going to end up with minus 18.56 on this side, right? So you should have got a negative number on this side, but when you square root, as we normally do to finish it, you're going to have the problem here, aren't you? Because when you put that in your calculator, you get error in your calculator. So this means that this has no real solution. We can't find an x number that will make this equation true. It's not possible. So you cannot put any number in here and get 0 for the answer, any real number. Okay, so that's basically what it means. So no real solution. Okay, for that one. So if you're copying, copy that quickly. Okay, the next question we'll do. Okay, so this one we got to rearrange first. So I help you a little bit at the start. So you got 5x cubed. So we have 5x squared minus 12x. Okay, I'll put the 3 on the other side. So put minus 3 over there. So now you're going to need to divide by 5. Okay, this one's a little bit harder, isn't it? Because you end up with fractions everywhere. So divide everything by 5 because you don't want 5x squared. We want x squared. like that. So you're going to have to solve x squared minus 12 on 5x equals minus 3 on 5, this one. So you go and solve this and put your answer in the item pool. I'll go to the next question, which is this one. Okay, so try and solve that one. Write that in your tablet or your notebook. Okay, so we take the middle number, half and square that. You get minus 144 on, oh, it'll be plus and 10, that's 100. So that's the same as the last question. So we got x squared minus 12 on 5x plus 144 on 100 equals minus 3/5 plus 144 on 100. Now this here will become x minus 12 on 10 all squared, because the square root of this number. And that side you'll get 84 on 100 from this here. Okay, that would give you 84 on 100. And then we square root both sides. Like that. So just check you may have got the right answer, but your working may look a bit different. So x minus 12 on 10 equal, this ended up being root 84 on 10. So I square root the top, root 84 is root 84, and square root 100 is 10. And then I put the 12 on 10 on the other side. Plus or minus. Okay, that should be plus or minus here as well. Root 84 on 10. So this is where you get your 0.28 and 2.12. Yeah. So you may have an error somewhere here. So just check that again. So that's that one. Okay, just be careful with your dealing with your fractions here. At this point, you can use your calculator, so don't worry about doing that by hand. Okay, you can do that with your calculator if you want. Okay, so the next question. 7. Now this one has minus 1/2. You see this number here? So I'll start you off. It's not 1. So at this one, I just check. I multiply by minus 2 everything. So if you multiply this by minus 2 every term, like that, minus 2 times minus 1/2 is 1. So we'll end up with x squared. This will be minus 14x. This will be plus 46 equals 0. So that's one way to get rid of these fractions. Multiply by the number that will cancel your first term and make it 1. Because minus 2 times minus 1/2 is 1, which is what you want. You want a 1 here. Okay, so you do this one yourself again. One's quite easy. So move your 46 over and go from there. So this is the one to solve. So for this one here, we'll move the 46 over to get minus 46. So we have x squared minus 14x equals minus 46. Your middle number's minus 14. So we'll halve and square that. Minus 7 squared is 49. So that's the number we add to both sides. Plus 49 equals 49 minus 46. We'll do that. So this is your complete square here. X minus 49, square root 49 is 7, all squared. Okay, that's, just be careful there. Equals 49 minus 46, that's 3. So at this point, we'll take the square root of both sides. And this will be plus or minus. So we'll end up cancelling the square. So x minus 7 is plus or minus root 3. So x will be 7 plus or minus root 3. And that will give you 8.73 and 5.27. So 5.27, 8.73. All right, so it seems like most of you are getting it. So your next worksheet, I will probably send today. I think you can make a start on that. If you haven't handed in your old sheet, you get that to me real quick because it's late now. Okay, so you'll get something for it. Now this one here, same idea. You've got decimals, so you got 0.8 here, and we don't want 0.8. So a good idea would be to divide everything by 0.8. Like that, every term. So you'll end up with x squared plus 3x minus a quarter equals 0. Okay, so you do that one the same way, and I'll open that on the item pool so you can put your answer in there. Okay, so try that one, and I'll go back to the other page. So divide everything by 0.8, which will make this term cancel, and then these can be divided. Okay. You can use a decimal there too if you want. So in this one, we would have x squared plus 3x equals a quarter. The middle number is 3, so halve and square that. 9 on 4. So put this number in. X squared plus 3x plus 9 on 4 equals a quarter plus 9 on 4. So you're going to get x plus 3 on 2 all squared. 9 plus 1, 10 on 4 here. So then we square root both sides. So we'll get x plus 3 on 2 equals plus or minus root 10 on 2. You see how I separated that root between top and bottom? Root 10 on the top, root 4, and root 4 is 2 on the bottom. So x equals minus 3 on 2 plus or minus root 10 on 2. And that would be minus 3 plus or minus root 10 all on 2. And that will give you the 0.08 and the minus 3.08, like that. Okay, so I think we're going to run out of time because there's only a few minutes left. So I think we'll stop there. There's some harder questions here. So let's see tomorrow. I haven't decided if we'll continue because there's quite a lot left here, right? So we got up to this one here. But I think in the meantime, you can work on your worksheet because it's the same stuff. Let's see, I think there's some harder ones further on. It's all the same. This question here, it looks like, you see question 12 in your book. I've retyped that. This question had an error in it. Okay, so look at question 12 in your book or your tablet. It should be like this. I've retyped it because there was an error in the question compared to, they wrote an answer key, which is for the wrong question. So that question 12 should be like this here. I think one of the signs is wrong. So anything else? 13, these are all straightforward. 14, 15. There's some harder ones in your homework though than the book. But we'll talk about that tomorrow, we'll see.